Okay, well, it's time for round 2. After my last video, I was globally banned from the game ARK Survival Evolved by the dev team wildcard. And I don't believe this was convenient timing. I think the devs don't like people discussing how broken this game is on official PvP servers. And well, now they've inspired me to make a second video on this issue, and we're gonna go deep down this rabbit hole this time. Specifically to February 8th, 2018, more than a year ago. And this is when Landcast publishes his Exploiting Evolved video, discussing many techniques used in ARK to exploit. Let's look at his meshing technique. It'll look surprisingly familiar.
For the most part, I'm going to not only show you some meshing techniques, but I'm also going to explain to you the concept of meshing and how to get around certain anti-mesh protections. Now you might wonder, like, why am I not reporting this directly to the devs, you know, for the bounty process? Well, first of all, I don't really care about their bounty process, I never did. Also, I don't really report exploits much in the first place, but when I do, like on Legacy with the full inventory do, the best way to get something fixed is to make a video about it and make it public and common knowledge. So where should I start? Now, you know, I'm obviously going to show you this in single play because it's going to be easier this way to get around. The very first thing which you have to understand is inside a mesh there are, let's call it, two type of meshes. So, you know, like, I don't know, on the map, in places under the map. One place is a place on which if you do get inside you can build. So for example, actually this is a very good example. So right here I'm inside the mesh and it says can't place structure here, but right here you actually can, and that's pretty much how it is for most of the ARK. Like on Ragnarok, actually most places it says can't place structure here. On center, for the most part, you can almost build anywhere outside of the mesh, that's why center is a joke. On island it's like 50-50. Now, just because it says, well, first of all, it's much easier to get inside a mesh in which you can build inside. However, it's not actually impossible to get into a mesh in which you can't build. There are actually ways to do it. Now, even though it says I can't place structure here, this doesn't apply to every single structure. There are few unique structures that can actually be placed everywhere, and they help greatly with meshing. Now, how can this help you with meshing? Well, let's start off by showing some meshing techniques. For the most part, the very well-known meshing technique was that, you know, a lot of people actually realized was chair. You would place a chair, like, you know, like this. You would sit on it, and you would and you would be able to build inside, right? Possible with the chair. Now, there are some spots in ARK in which you will actually get stuck when standing up of the chair. Yeah, this is the spot. Okay, so in this particular spot, if I sit on the chair and now I stand up, I got stuck inside. Now on the service this actually works much better than on single play, because on the service you never fall, you're standing perfectly still, but the concept is more the same. Like, yeah, now I'm standing still, so it's still gonna work. So now that I'm actually halfway inside the mesh, I can't actually move forward, but I can place a sleeping bag. And you don't even need RNG process for this. You place the tent and you get a climbing pick, and you climbing pick yourself into the tent and you're inside the mesh now.
So did I mention that was February 8th, 2018? Well, that looks familiar. Wait, I think someone did a video just like this recently too, using the chair. Let's check that out.
This is the mesh method not many people know, like hardly anyone at all. Chair. Could be any mesh foundation. Stone works the best though. Anywhere there's a wall, right? Let's go and ghost. Anywhere there's a flat wall like this. This won't work here. Let's see. Flat wall with an open mesh behind it. Right here. This will work perfectly. Okay. You would get as close as you can to the foundation without it going up like that. Place it on the ground. You're gonna place a chair as close as you can. Then what you'll do is you will sit in the chair, have your friend knock you out. Your friend drag your body. Your friend will sit on the chair while you're unconscious, dragging the body, and he will just spam G for pick up and drag the body. And when you're perfectly in front of the chair, in the little crack by your feet, sometimes it takes a couple tries, sometimes it doesn't work everywhere. But when you're right there, it will push you through the mesh, because it can't push you to the side because you're between his legs, and it can't push you like back to the mesh. Another mesh method is, everybody knows about the cryopod, with the chair and like all that, but there's a different way to do that.
So to put that in perspective, over a year passed and the chair wasn't removed from the game. It was still left in the game and continued to be a tool for meshing exploit. And the devs left it in the game. The chair literally serves no purpose in PvP. There's a very minor use for it, but overall, the exploits that can be caused by it should override its game use, and it should be removed from the game until it's functional. Now this reminds me of another scenario that I myself was involved with probably 5-6 months ago. And this was to do with the climbing pick, and let's just look at what the climbing pick's been up to recently. And keep in mind, I actually made a petition and got 8,000 signatures at the time to remove the climbing pick. And still to this day, it's assisting meshes in ARK Survival Evolved. So suffice it to say, the devs have been given video proof of how effective these methods and these tools are to mesh in ARK and exploit and raid people's bases by ignoring the defense and destroying thousands of hours of work, and yet the devs still leave these items in the game. I proposed a fix for it. I proposed many fixes in my last video that I believe would actually fix this game, and people say it's the engine's fault. Now if you're one of these idiots who says this is the game engine flaw, to fuck it is. It's a game design flaw, specifically the item, the fucking chair. Remove the chair from the game, it's as simple as that. Get rid of the climbing pick, get rid of sleeping bags. There, I've fixed half your game, wildcard. Thank me later. I'm gonna put my other fixes in a little message here and share with you guys the snow owl and rhino mesh technique that I missed in the last video. That was also another video, but this will hopefully be the last of this. I'll hopefully get unbanned because I believe it's highly unethical of Wildcard to ban me for exposing massive flaws in their game that are making players lose thousands of hours of work daily. It's a toxic community, a toxic game community to be a part of at the moment, and it's not the players' fault, it's the developers' fault, and they need to fix these things and take notice of what us as a community says. The current PvP dev, if there is one, no one knows who it is, and the only other community manager in ARK is Jen, who just completely ignores all of the PvP community, except recently she made one post in response to Kishko. The devs do not communicate well enough with the PvP community, and I feel they need to focus one specific person to PvP and make it clear that person's there. It's a pity Jat left, because he was an absolute legend. Either way, I'm probably done with this for a bit, as you guys can understand. Hope you guys see my perspective here, and I'm going to put my fixes in a little convenient notepad here, because I've stayed up way too late dealing with this shit. I'll make a petition as well for the fixes, so they can see our numbers and see that we mean business, and we're not going to take this shit lying down, because we've taken it for too long in this community, and it's about time we rise up and stop accepting meshing as part of the game. And it's absolutely bullshit. Make sure you share this around so that Wildcard gets no support. I'm going to go give them a negative review on Steam. I hope you guys follow suit, because until they fix these issues, nobody should be supporting this game, honestly.